on NewsWatch Ole Miss, it has been 6 months since an EF4 tornado ripped through the town of Rolling Fork.
Though the town is still rebuilding and is far from normal, the residents refuse to give up and lose hope. We have team coverage tonight on our return to Rolling Fork. You're watching NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Alexia Anderchek.
And I'm Reagan Settle. This month marks 6 months since the town of Rolling Fork was hit with an EF4 tornado that nearly destroyed everything in its path.
On the night of March 24th, the large tornado struck the community, killing more than a dozen people and destroying much of Rolling Fork. NewsWatch reporter Celeste Lay went out into the community to speak with those who are still rebuilding.
The sounds of Rolling Fork's comeback can be heard in every corner of the town. But Jacqueline Brown can still hear the sounds of terror in her granddaughter's voice from the night of the tornado.
She went to screaming and hollering because when the roof came off, it went to picking her up. And she was like, I don't want to die. Oh, Lord.
Everyone in the Brown family survived, but their house was destroyed. Now they and many others are still struggling to find a permanent home.
Over 6 months ago, devastation hit the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi, but the Build Back Better organization is bringing hope to residents here.
Former mayor, now board member of the nonprofit rebuilding program, Fred Miller, says the construction on the first new homes is underway.
We're excited about it. We poured 3 foundations. They are going to start either this week, today maybe, or next week putting the sides up on some of them.
While residents wait for these homes to be built, families like Brown's have been living in FEMA trailers for the past 4 to 5 months.
The trailer was given to us at first, but now what y'all telling us, we got to pay for them in the end. How could we pay for a FEMA trailer and build a house too?
The new program offers a solution.
We will then sell them to people who have no money, but we're going to sell it to them at 0 interest for 20 years. On a $75,000 mortgage, that works out to be $312 a month. By the time you add insurance and taxes, they'll be in the homes between $500 and $600, which is about what they were paying in rent.
Board member Emily Carter says she is impressed by the progress of the program and how much support it is receiving.
We feel like we're going to help people have change their lives, go from poverty, from a not so great living situation to a new home that's better than they probably came out of, and they'll own it.
The program is also providing classes for participants on how to be a good homeowner.
We require that they go through certain training, financial literacy, survivor counseling, homeowner training of what is required of someone who owns property. And there are, I think, 2 more sessions that they go through.
The tornado displaced dozens of families in this community of fewer than 2,000 residents. Some will not need the help from these programs. Cynthia Prestiani is currently staying with family friends while they rebuild their home.
A friend has let us stay in his dad's apartment in Vicksburg.
Prestiani speaks for many in her town when she thinks about what they have been through and what the future might hold.
But Rolling Fork is strong. We survived it, and we will rebuild the best we can.
Although the process seems slow, Rolling Fork, Mississippi is making progress on its path to building back better. This is Celeste Lay, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
NewsWatch reporter Olivia Wright also went to Rolling Fork to speak to local businesses.
She asked about their plans as they continue to recover. Olivia?
Yes, Reagan and Alexia, the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi is slowly rebuilding their businesses and lives 6 months after a devastating tornado wiped out the city. The storm killed 14 residents and injured several more. I went to Rolling Fork, Mississippi and spoke with town officials, residents, and business owners on how they are building back from the ground up.
From the air, Rolling Fork scars are still clearly visible. The tank from the water tower, the ravaged buildings, to the empty concrete slabs. On March 24th, an EF4 tornado barreled through the town. Now, Mayor Eldridge Walker says he is ready for businesses and families to come home.
So we're here to support build back up businesses, and I'm also here to support employment opportunities. We've lost tax base, revenue, and we've got to find a way to build some of that back.
Walker says much of the town's workforce is living an hour or more away, and that is making it harder for businesses and the community to recover.
6 months ago, a tornado turned the little town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi into rubble. Well, today, locals are working hard to rebuild their homes and the beloved local businesses.
Chuck's Dairy Barn owner Terry Harden is a local who lost her beloved restaurant's building. Today, her office looks a little different than usual, but she has reopened her business in a food truck at the original location where she continues to serve her customers with a full menu and a new perspective on Mother Nature.
So that's all I can say is just respect it, pay attention to it, because it can be.
At Green Apple Gift Shop, owner Lucy Hankins has been working out of a she shed, but her new building is up and all that's left is work on the inside.
I'm looking for everything to be better than it was before. That's my hopes, that everything will be better after the tornado. So we'll have new businesses, everything new, so hopefully it'll be great.
Still plenty of optimism on display in the town.
It's going to take time, maybe 10 years down the road before you can actually see the full impact of the rebuild. But I'm hard-headed enough to know and to believe it's going to happen.
For Rolling Fork to rise up once again, workers and businesses will need to come back and once again make this town their home. This is Olivia Wright, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
The first Saturday of next month, Rolling Fork will be hosting a town cleanup day and are inviting all communities in Mississippi to come give a helping hand. Back to you guys at the desk.
From Rolling Fork.
Thank you, Olivia. We now get to hear from a student and Daily Mississippian editor who went to Rolling Fork after the tornado and this past weekend.
NewsWatch reporter Garyana Williams sits down with Hal Fox to discuss his experience.
Thank you, Alexia and Reagan. I'm here with Hal Fox, the Enterprise News editor for the Daily Mississippian. Hal was with several Ole Miss students who visited Rolling Fork and spoke with several residents on how they are still rebuilding their town. But he was also among the few that went to Rolling Fork after the destructive tornado. Hal, can you share with us your experiences after seeing the town destroyed?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rolling Fork has probably always been kind of a smaller, quieter Mississippi town, but on that day, it was really anything but quiet. You had people trying to salvage things from the rubble of their homes. You had storm watchers and chasers coming in from all over the country. FEMA people, government people. It was really hectic, and you could really see the destruction. Leveled buildings, just stuff that I had never seen before in my life.
That's crazy. After you visited there a second time, is there something that you saw that made you want to have an impact on it?
I mean, when we had first gone there to do our reporting, I got in contact with a few people, and I saw the destruction to their homes and the troubles they were going through. Some family members have been injured and stuff like that. And so coming back, I was really interested in just catching up with those people, seeing how they were doing, whether or not they were rebuilding, how their what the health of their family was, stuff like that. But one of the craziest things I noticed after the storm was that whereas the first time we went, it was packed with rubble, right? Mm-hmm. It was just, everything was destroyed. Everywhere you looked, it was just destruction. This time around, you saw a lot more emptiness. Like, you could still see the remnants of the tornado, right? Mm-hmm. Like metal and lodged in trees and stuff like that. But you saw a lot of empty lots too. People that had cleared away the debris of their destroyed home and weren't going to build back.
I understand that the DM.
And some political challenges that they've been experiencing in the coming days.
How can we access this article and when can we access it?
You can find it at thedmonline.com, or if you get the DM newsletter or have access to a DM print receptacle, you can find the story.
Well, thank you, Hal. We really enjoyed all you had to talk about, and I can't wait to see what else you give to us and offer.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Garyana. Coming up, accused Giglow Beach killer appeared in a New York court today.
And the Jack in the Box employee caught on video aiming a gun at customers speaks out. These stories and more after the break. You're watching NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Hey, Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
Patch potholes,
and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure.
Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you. Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. The suspect for the Giglow Beach serial murder case, Rex Heuermann, appeared in a court in New York on Wednesday. Heuermann is pleading not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder of Melissa Barthelemy in 2009 and Megan Waterman and Amber Costello in 2010. This hearing was a short status hearing for his upcoming trial. A major break in this case was made back in January when investigators found Heuermann's DNA on a pizza crust thrown away in a Manhattan trash can.
So as everyone, I think, knows, that there was an abandonment sample obtained from the defendant via the pizza box, and the pizza that was in the pizza box, a DNA profile was obtained from that pizza subsequent to the defendant's arrest.
This DNA matched a male hair found at the bottom of a burlap sack the killer used to wrap up one of the victim's body back in 2010.
A Jack in the Box employee who was seen on video shooting out the drive-thru window admits to aiming the gun at the customer. The employee shares her side of the story, saying that the dispute was over curly fries. She no longer works for the fast food chain. Reporter Jessica Wiley has more on the story.
She's aiming, she's leaning. She's not just going up in the air trying to scare people. She's trying to kill them.
This morning, attorney Randall Callanan and his client, customer Anthony Ramos,
scared, that's for sure,
detailed the controversial curly fry incident and the shooting that followed.
It was pointed right at me. I don't know how she didn't get me.
And this afternoon, the armed employee on the other side of the dispute, contacted ABC 13 to respond.
I want to clear my name and tell my story. That's not the whole story that they telling.
Alonia Ford Theriot says she worked for Jack in the Box for 15 years, most recently at the location on JFK where she says the job was dangerous. This was her in March of 2021. Ramos says he and his wife ordered a meal combo but didn't get the curly fries.
She said we weren't going to get them, and that was it.
The confrontation escalated to food throwing, and Ford says racial slurs, which Ramos denies.
He kept saying, oh, you gonna make my order over. This is the type of talk about behind you. We hate like y'all.
She says she asked Ramos to leave. The video captures the gunfire.
The video does show you shoot at them. What if you had
if you hear the audio, you didn't hear the gun go off at all.
There is no audio on the video that was released, but according to court records, Houston police did find a spent shell casing. Theriot was initially charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but pled guilty to a lesser charge of deadly conduct and got 1 year deferred adjudication, which she completed in June. She and the restaurant still face a civil lawsuit. Ramos and his family says they were exposed to a dangerous employee and were traumatized.
I served my sentence. I paid my fees. I did what I had to do. What else do you want from me? I can't give you nothing. But an apology if you want that, but I need the same thing. We both need to apologize to each other.
Now let's check in with weather anchor Seth Parento for a look at today's current conditions.
Well, Alexia, it may now be fall, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. We are looking at a current temperature of 88 degrees here in Oxford, and I'll have your full forecast after this. NewsWatch Ole Miss, we'll be right back.
My name is Charles Taway. I was in the United States Navy, flight deck, Harry S. Truman. A veteran friend of mine took his own life with a gun. What didn't take place? What didn't happen that could have prevented that? Safely storing your weapon is important. It's your guard that you put up beforehand to ensure that if you're not in the right state of mind, you're still watching your own back. Service never stops as far as locking it up properly. Protect yourself and those around you.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm your local weather anchor, Seth Parento. Well, as it stands right now, we are looking at a current temperature of 88 degrees here in Oxford, again with mostly sunny skies, and a light breeze coming east-southeast at 6 miles per hour. And if we take a look across the western northern Mississippi, you'll be seeing much of the same with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, with South Haven actually sitting at 90 degrees right now. And if we as we head into this evening, temperatures will be taking a little bit of a dip to a cooler side of 66 degrees. Still a little bit warm for this time of year, and clear skies, and again, that cool breeze persisting. And as we head into tomorrow, we are looking at a high of 89 degrees. That is definitely a bit unseasonably warm for this time of year, as temperatures usually sit around 80 degrees towards the end of September. And again, sunny skies, so enjoy this hot weather while we have it. And if we take a look across the rest of northern Mississippi for tomorrow, you'll be seeing temperatures consistent across the north of Mississippi with temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. Again, South Haven hitting the high locally of 91 degrees. And as we take a look at the rest of the week, you'll be seeing temperatures will be remaining consistent throughout the remainder of the week and into the weekend, although we will be getting some partly cloudy weather once we hit that game day time.
Well, Seth, I hate to see this warm weather because I was kind of hoping for a cool game on Saturday.
Agreed. Hot temperatures like that in the Grove are just not it. It needs to be a little cooler.
I agree.
Yeah, truly. Well, I know you may be hoping for cooler weather, but Campbell, are things heating up in the world of sports?
They are, Seth. Coming up, the women's basketball team was ranked number 14 in the preseason ranks, and the men's golf team continues to impress. I'll have that and more up next in sports.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Welcome back. I'm Campbell Holmes with Sports Watch. Well, the Lady Rebels from the basketball team will be must-see TV this upcoming season as they took spot number 14 in the Athletics Women's College Basketball Preseason Top 25. And they'll be seen playing in 10 nationally televised games this season. In these 10 nationally televised games, there will be 8 conference games and 2 non-conference. Ole Miss will be challenged at the very beginning of the season, though, as they open up their home conference play against the defending national champs, the Tigers from LSU. You'll be able to watch these Rebs nationally against teams like Oklahoma, South Carolina, Mississippi, and many more. And taking things to the course, the men from the Ole Miss golf team earned 4th place in the SEC Fall Preview in Birmingham with a score of 280. Their overall score this past tournament was the second lowest in program history and the second time that the team had a 24 under par score. With this, the Rebs got 59 birdies throughout 54 holes, 13 of those coming from sophomore Michael Laceso. Seated as number 4, the Rebs will take on number 3 Arkansas in the East versus West match play. And yet again, both men and women cross-country teams for Ole Miss are ranked following week 2 of action. These Rebs from the men's team secured spot number 23, while the women are in spot 25. This is the 40th time both squads are ranked at the same time, coming right after a great weekend showcase in Huntsville, sweeping both team titles. These Rebels will be competing in Chicago this Friday morning at the Loyola Sean Earl Lakefront Invitational. The women will start the weekend at 11:25 a.m. at the Tom Cooney Championship Women's 6K, while the men will start at noon with the Championship 8K. And that's all I've got for sports, so be sure to follow us at rebel_watch for the latest sports updates. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that could be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
If you are shipping Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, then you are definitely not the only one.
A well-known company is also rooting for the pair.
That's right, Reagan. Heinz is releasing a limited edition ketchup and seemingly ranch sauce. According to a Swift fan, this is what Taylor Swift appeared to be eating at Kelce's NFL game on Sunday.
Apparently the sauce is not new. The name of the sauce is usually called Cranch, but 100 bottles will come with this custom label.
Interesting.
I am so here for this relationship. I'm so here for this sauce. I'm just so excited.
I want to try it just because Taylor Swift eats it.
Yes.
And the fact that it was at Travis's game, exactly what I needed.
I'm just so excited.
Now,
Thank you, Heinz.
Are you sure you don't want to eat? Are you sure you want to eat it and not like frame it? You know, like have it as a keepsake?
Yes, I'm gonna frame the bottle. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Just a gold label underneath. Taylor's Cranch.
Exactly, just Cranch. That's gonna be the only word that goes under it.
Of course.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Tune in next week. I'm Alexia Ittercheck.
And I'm Reagan Settle with your latest news.
I'm Campbell Holmes with Sports Watch.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Seth Parenzo.
Be sure to keep up with us on socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.